In the next 2 minutes, I'm going to go through the interactive tour of Photoshop. If your Photoshop is still installing, don't worry. Feel free to watch this video and follow along when it's done. I'm going to start by clicking Create New. And for the tour, it doesn't really matter which one I choose here. And in the Learn panel here in the top right, I'm going to go to Fundamental Skills and then Photoshop Tour. The Photoshop Tour will launch the sample file of a child's bedroom. And I'm going to follow the steps displayed in the panel here. A Photoshop document is made out of a stack of layers, and those layers can be found in the Layers panel here. You can see that we have a room layer, an astronaut layer, and an alien ship layer. Let's see what happens when we click the eye icon beside any one of these layers. Boom! It hides the layer and makes it invisible. We can toggle that visibility back by clicking the eye icon. Now, every individual layer can be moved and edited on its own without changing the rest of the document. So I can click and drag the astronaut, Jupiter, or this galaxy down here without changing anything else. And in addition to moving, I can also edit the layer without changing anything else. So I can select the galaxy layer, and just to make sure I know which one that is, I can toggle the visibility of that layer to see what part of the document changes. Once I have the galaxy layer selected, I can turn down that layer's opacity, making that layer a little more transparent. Another thing I can do to the whole layer is to make adjustments to it, something to do with, let's say, color or brightness. I'm going to click Jupiter so that layer is selected, and I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And I can change Jupiter's color or hue without changing anything else. Now, I'm going to go back and make the room visible again. I'm going to select the room layer because that's what I want to edit. Then, I'm going to go up to this nifty little tool inside the toolbar with many other tools, and I'm going to select the Spot Healing Brush tool. The Spot Healing Brush tool, as you can see in that GIF, allows you to remove small marks or blemishes. And in order for me to set up my Spot Healing Brush tool, I can go up here to the options bar and change the size of the brush. I press Enter, and using the Spot Healing Brush tool, I'm going to click and drag over the stars on the ceiling, and you can see that they magically disappear. Not only do they disappear, Photoshop is auto-magically filling that space with the right color, texture, and shadow, making the effect seamless. The last step is adding your own images into Photoshop. I'm just going to grab this basketball I previously downloaded from Adobe Stock. I'm going to drag it onto the canvas and plop it in. You'll see that Photoshop adds the basketball image as a new layer into our layer stack. I can resize it, and when I'm happy with the size and position, I press Enter or Return. And similar to everything else, I'm going to make sure that the right layer is selected. Then I'm going to make adjustments, brightness, contrast, and turn down the brightness to make sure the ball looks like it belongs in the room. Or, just like before, I can turn down the opacity to make it blend a little into the scene. And voila, we just added a basketball into the room. And that's it. You learned about the Layers panel, a little bit about the toolbar, and how to adjust the tool options up here. I hope you have fun playing around in Photoshop.